Hi, this is Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Today we're going to take a look at this residential application. So here we have basically two different types of seating arrangements. We have some dining space here and some reclining space, I'll call it, over here. Now the dimensions I have are a little bit different than what the customer gave me, but I believe the customer gave me like the seating space, not the actual structure, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to go with this anyways and see what we can come up with. I know that the one dimension I had was true, which is the fact that this is 8 feet tall. So I'm going to go with that. You can see how we have a couple of fans that we need to think about, as well as we have this little overhang over here that's part of the structure of the home, and then the extension of the deck up here and covering. So let's go with that and see what we can come up with. First of all, let's just go with some dimensions, and these dimensions are going to be very critical in this application, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyways, we have 8-foot height here, and I have between these posts 12.6 and total of 25.6 up here, and then the total distance I have here is 11.5, and then the decking here I have at 9.4 and about 2 feet of this overhang. So that's that. Now the other thing I wanted to mention is that we have these fans, and I have my fans at approximately 5 foot in diameter. Another critical issue is going to be this distances between these joists. I have at 2 feet 3.5 inches, and then the opening is 2 feet 1.5 inches roughly. Let's see if there's anything else. The inside dimension here from the end of the joist to the other would be 8.10. Again, these are critical pieces of information in order to allow this to happen, properly. So let's go ahead and just take that off for a second, and you can see here I have the SlimLine. These are 4,000 watt SL Infratech electric heaters, single element. Again, let's go back to that dimension. These are the critical dimensions that we need to talk about. So number one, and I don't have it shown here, but this heater has to be at the bottom of this heater has to be at the same elevation as the bottom of these joists here. So if that's number one critical information. Number two, I have that 6 inches of clearance on top minimum. Now you may have to extend that bracket, put a block behind it. I know I'm not showing the bracket itself, but you may have to extend that bracket by putting a block behind it so you can get that final dimension so that it matches the bottom edge to the bottom edge here. That's critical because on the face of this unit you need 18 inches all the way around, and 18 inches from here out and all the way around. And so that bracket is going to be important, because here you can see I physically am at a little bit higher elevation than this beam. I need to bring it down, and but I just kept it with the 6 inches of clearance for right now. On the left I need 6 inches. Here I have 10.5. On the right I need 16 inches, or excuse me, 6 inches. I have here again 10.5. And I must have 18 inches from this edge all the way to this beam over here. And here I'm at, what is that, 21 inches there. So that's true on the back side, by the way, as well. All right, let me turn that off, and we'll look at the ray itself. So the ray, you can see with that dimensions, with the height of this fan, with the radius, diameter rather, of this fan, my ray is coming down quite nicely. I'm covering this table area fairly well. I don't have the overlap I would like to have, but depending on the dimensions, the actual dimensions of the spacing between these joists, that's going to kind of dictate it whether I can put them in here or not. And so I'm not going to get the perfect overlap that I'd like to have, but sometimes you have to adjust a little bit or be flexible a little bit. Here in the middle you can see I have a lot of overlap, but obviously there's no seating over here, so that doesn't play that great of a part in heating this patio. But here again we have just a little bit of overlap, and you can see that this ray is physically coming down, and even though I'm showing the ray of heat coming down very specifically, it does come out a little bit further. These are light waves, and as the light waves travel, they stretch and bend, but the most usable amount of heat is shown in this depiction of orange space I have here. So you can see on this profile, you can see that I'm not quite touching the edge here. So, but I need to maintain that clearance. So that's another important aspect. And again, that ray will travel over here, and physically you're not going to be up against the wall, I don't think. But you know, again, if my dimensions are actually true, it might be that this wall is coming in a little bit more, and then so that's not as important as you might think. But in any case, that's what I have for you. If you think this helps you, please give us a thumbs up at least, because that helps us to realize that this is benefiting people out there. And we'd love to see your comments and questions. And if you're looking for some assistance, please give us a call or just email support@patioheat.com. Thank you and have a great day.